The story begins with Sister Junia arriving at an old, dilapidated house. The house is in a terrible state. Cracks in the walls, a fearful silence fills the air. A child Heejoon lies there, possessed by an evil spirit. His body trembles, and his eyes glow with a strange glow. A priest had previously come to rescue him, but the spirit was so powerful that his attempt failed. Now Sister Junia has come to free the child from that same evil power. Perhaps everyone had succumbed to the evil spirit's power. As Sister Junia entered, she saw the priest, a sword lodged in his shoulder, and he stood there motionless, as if stuck between life and death. His assistant was trembling with fear, his face pale, to manage the situation in such a difficult time. Sister Junia decided to step forward herself. Sister Junia knew that this was against the rules for a Catholic nun, yet she persisted. A sacred vessel was placed in the room, with which the evil spirit could be captured and destroyed. She quickly stepped forward and began sprinkling holy water on the child, Heejoon. With each splash of water, the child cried out and the room shook. Then she turned to the priest's assistant and said, "Ring the bell, it's time." And with the resounding church bell, a strange tremor spread through the air. Sister Junia then held the child Heejoon's head in her hands and, closing her eyes, began to pray. With each word that came from her lips, the air in the room grew heavier. The power of her prayers tormented the evil spirit within Heejoon. It began to scream as if burning, and terrifying sounds echoed throughout. Blood slowly began to flow from Heejoon's ears, but the evil spirit within him remained unaffected. Sister Junia continued her prayers, speaking harshly, "Tell me your name. Who are you?" But the spirit laughed sarcastically. Her voice mingled with fear and hatred. She said, "You won't see spring this year." The air in the room went cold at that. "I will give you a death that will be the most horrific for humans. Priests and priests like you used to imprison us in hell, but that won't be the case anymore." Sister Junia, hearing the threat, began to pray even louder. In the echoes of her prayers, Heejoon fell unconscious to the ground. But Sister Junia knew this was only a moment of control. The possession had eased, but it hadn't completely ended. There was concern in their eyes, as well as unwavering faith. For this reason, Heejoon was admitted to the church hospital. There, his mother tells the doctor that her son is possessed by an evil spirit, but the doctor doesn't believe this at all. Dr. Paulo ignores her words, because he doesn't believe in spirits, nor in things like exorcism. He wasn't willing to accept that a demonic force or invisible entity could take over a human body. The doctor tried to explain to Heejoon's mother, "Your son isn't possessed by any spirit. It's simply a mental illness. He has a type of multiple personality disorder, in which a person begins to behave in multiple ways. That's why he appears aggressive." But Heejoon's mother told Dr. Paulo the truth. Her son was indeed possessed by an evil spirit. Exorcisms had been performed several times. Even 2 priests had failed to free him. But that day, when Sister Junia arrived, she took charge of the situation. Hearing this, Dr. Paulo, himself a priest, was deeply shocked, because it was against the rules for a religious sister to perform such a ritual. This act was against the rules for her, that is, illegal. For this reason, Sister Junia was later summoned to a meeting by the church's Supreme Council. There she explained, the situation was very serious at that time. There was no other way to save the child. To bring the situation under control, I was forced to perform an exorcism, and Sister Junia continued at the meeting. The child still needs an exorcism. If possible, we should call Father Kim and Father Joy, as they are very experienced in this method. The child is possessed not by one, but by many evil spirits, and one of the most powerful is still refusing to reveal its name. But no one here takes Sister Junia's words seriously. It is then shown that Junia herself went to the priest, who had failed to exorcise the child. The priest explained Heejoon's entire case to Junia, and handed her the ghostly painting he had created. He then entrusted Sister Junia with the responsibility of freeing the child from the evil spirit's control. As Sister Junia leaves, we see the priest standing in a strange state, as if possessed by some unseen fear, and we learn that the priest, too, has now been possessed by some evil force, because in Christianity it is believed that if a priest fails in the exorcism process, the same evil spirits take over him And that's exactly what happened to the priest. Sister Junia then comes to Dr. Paulo. Sister Junia was seeking permission to exorcise Heejoon. But Dr. Paulo did not believe in these things at all. He would not allow him to be discharged from the hospital under any circumstances. Sister Junia tries her best to change his thinking. She explains many things to him, and even recites several sacred verses from the Bible that mention the process of exorcism. But Dr. Paulo still doesn't believe her. He sternly says, "As long as John is my patient, I will not allow an exorcism to be performed on him." Sister Junia then pauses as she leaves, her eyes filled with determination. She turns back and says, "I will save John at any cost, even if it means sacrificing my life. I will exorcise him myself." Here we are shown John's mother, who was repeatedly harassed by the extortionists. One man even said, "Your husband is dead, and now your child won't survive either." She is devastated to the core by this. She looks at Heejoon for the last time, her eyes filled with love and pain, and then she leaps out of the window and takes her own life. As she falls, everyone gathers around her. Dr. Pavel and his assistant, Dr. Michaela, have also arrived. Sister Junia is also there, near Heejoon's mother's dead body. She begins to hear strange sounds, as if some unknown force is speaking around her. The atmosphere feels incredibly heavy. She can feel the negative energy deep within her. It's her unique inner strength that allows her to sense the dark, evil energy. She tries to drive away the negative energy by reciting some sacred words. Dr. Michaela observes all this carefully. At night, Sister Junia comes to visit Dr. Michaela alone. Because she was also a nun, Junia tells her that she has a special power within her, an invisible force that allows her to sense the presence of evil spirits. Sister Junia speaks slowly. "I can feel it, and I'm absolutely certain there's a demon lurking within Heejoon. We must exorcise it. Will you help me with this, Sister Michaela?" She continues, "I know you're a demon-born child like me. That is, a child whose mother was possessed by an evil spirit during pregnancy. Such children always have some special power within them, and I think you have the same power." But Dr. Michaela didn't do that. She didn't become a shaman, but instead became a true nun. After that, she became a doctor, serving in the church and hospital. Dr. Michaela kept this truth hidden from everyone, but Sister Junia found out because she was like her, and that's why, when Dr. Michaela was about to leave in anger, Sister Junia revealed Heejoon's entire history to her. She requested Dr. Michaela to examine Heejoon and tell her how she could be treated. After Sister Junia's information, Michaela takes all the facts and goes home. Arriving home, she takes out her tarot cards, which reveal that she has an amazing ability to see the future. At that very moment, a strange vision appeared. Michaela saw the dead bodies of several goats. Then she picked up 2 cards from her tarot cards. One card revealed a demon, and the other revealed the face of the high priest. Michaela was stunned by all this. Then Michaela suddenly experienced a flashback from her life. In fact, she had previously read this card with her sister. Both of these sisters were demon-born. Demon-borns are children whose mothers are possessed by an evil spirit during pregnancy. Michaela's mother's demon had then entered Michaela's sister. She underwent extensive treatment, but eventually died. Since her death, her spirit has constantly haunted Michaela. Michaela had recurring visions of her, which terrified her, and just then, while Michaela was experiencing these terrifying visions, her phone rang. The call was from Sister Junia. Michaela calmed down a little, seeing this, because Junia was the only one who could sense these invisible forces like her. Michaela answered the phone. Sister Junia's voice came from the other end, saying, "I know what your nightmares are, because I can feel those invisible things." The next day, Sister Junia gently persuaded Michaela and convinced her, so that they could face Heejoon and other mysterious events together. She also went to a shaman, who was known to Sister Junia. She had previously been a nun with Junia in the church, but because she too was demon-born, she chose to become a shaman. Now the process of exorcising Heejoon began in Heejoon. This was a water ritual involving several animals, because all the evil spirits hidden within Heejoon were to be imprisoned in these animals, and then by killing these animals, those evil spirits were to be destroyed. But the evil spirits hidden within Heejoon turned out to be much more powerful than they had imagined. The exorcism they were about to perform backfired. As a result, all the animals, in which the evil spirits hidden within Heejoon were killed alive. This scene was extremely terrifying and frightening for both Michaela and Sister Junia, and the High Reservoir became extremely upset. After these events, they had to return. As they were returning, the High Reservoir realized that Sister Junia was ill. In fact, she had cancer. The High Reservoir also realized that she would soon pass away, so he told Sister Junia to take care of herself and ensure her safety. They now return to their church. First, Dr. Paulo calls Dr. Michaela to him because these two took Heejoon for the exorcism ritual without her permission. He angrily says, "I don't know about Sister Junia, but tell me, do you also think it's a case of exorcism? It's just a mental illness." Michaela is then reminded, 17 years ago, you had this experience too. When you came here, you were treated, and now you're completely fine, and you don't remember those terrifying visions anymore. Hearing this, Michaela said, "I'm sorry, Dr. Pavlo, but those visions still haunt me." The silence of the night echoed through the office. When Michaela left Dr. Pavlo's office, she met a woman. The woman said she was joyfully going to her son. As soon as she said this, her entire body went black, and she suddenly disappeared. When Michaela reached her room, she realized that the woman had just died, and the one she had spoken to was her spirit. As soon as she returned home, Michaela was consumed by many worries. Her terrifying visions continued to haunt her, and she knew that all this was happening because she wasn't helping Heejoon. Filled with panic and guilt, she called Sister Junia and said she was now fully prepared to assist in Heejoon's exorcism. They all took Heejoon to the church, where Dr. Pavlo prepared for the exorcism. As Sister Junia sprinkled holy water on Heejoon, his body trembled and his rage manifested. His eyes turned red, and a terrifying roar escaped from his mouth. He became so violent that he first strangled Sister Junia and then lunged at Dr. Pavlo. The air echoed with the fear and panic of Sister Junia and Dr. Pavlo, and the atmosphere of the church was filled with dread and darkness. Trying to control this demon, Michaela was at a loss. Suddenly, he picked up a nearby chair and attacked Heejoon. This temporarily calmed the demons within Heejoon. When Heejoon regained consciousness, and as he understood his situation, he began to cry. He pleaded with Sister Junia, "Please save me, these demons will kill me, and I don't want to die." Today's exorcism failed, and Heejoon had to be taken to the hospital again. Now Dr. Michaela and Sister Junia were sitting together. Sister Junia said to Michaela, "We need to know the name of the demon that has possessed Heejoon. Without that, we won't be able to exorcise him." This time, Dr. Michaela performed a tarot card reading in front of Sister Junia, explaining that a third person would also be needed to know the name of the demon and exorcise Heejoon. Now Michaela and Sister Junia decided to call their two expert priests, but they were both very busy. They had to conduct some religious services. They assigned Sister Junia the responsibility to perform Heejoon's exorcism properly. Although Sister had received permission to perform the exorcism, they still needed a third person, and they didn't even know the demon's name. The priest gave them a hint that the demon's name would be hidden in the name of an animal. According to Michaela, they also needed the key to heaven to exorcise Heejoon. But unfortunately, they couldn't obtain the key to heaven. This was very important to Christians. Meanwhile, Sister Junia goes to Heejoon and begs for help, but Heejoon refuses to assist them. She says, "We can't do that because the lunar month is coming, and they become extremely powerful during that month." Hearing this, Sister Junia returns to the church. There, she is summoned by the management. Sister Junia is told that she has now been officially granted permission to perform the exorcism ritual. But according to the authorities, it will be mandatory for Dr. Paulo to be present during this ritual. Hearing this, Sister Junia says, "But Father, how can we keep Dr. Paulo with us? He doesn't believe in exorcism." Father replies, "I don't know, daughter, but this is the rule. Dr. Paolo and I will both be with you during this ritual. Then Sister Junia asks him for the key to heaven. To this, Father says, you cannot have that key. If you try to take it without permission, all your rights will be taken away. But fortunately, the very next day, the management gives them the key to heaven, but on one condition. After this exorcism, you must take the demon to hell, whether Heejoon survives or not. Now the exorcism ritual begins. Dr. Paolo, who is also a priest, blessed the three. Sister Junia began reciting her prayers. This time, her prayers were not as effective, because the evil spirit's power was so strong. But Junia didn't stop. She continued her meditation. Gradually, the demon began to become angry. He insulted Sister Junia, mocked her, and said, when you were born into this world, I was within your mother. Sister Junia knew that she was born into a cursed lineage, but she didn't know that the same demon within Heejoon had also lived within her mother. She demanded to know the spirit's name, but the demon refused to tell her. Sister Junia said, you are weak, you are alone. But the demon laughed and replied, I am not alone. Our power is greater than you can imagine. I have waited 235 years to come to this world. And now every year I return. Every year I make someone my prey and kill them. I hate children. I want to wipe out every child from this earth. So far, I have devoured 293 children. His intention wasn't to scare her. He simply wanted to show her how deep and ancient his evil was. The evil spirit was actually trying to distract Sister Junia. While Junia was engrossed in listening to his words, a sudden loud noise echoed through the room, and a heavy wardrobe crashed down on Sister Junia. Sister Mikola was terrified by this sight. She ran to Junia and asked, what should I do now? Sister Junia said in a trembling voice, give me the key to heaven. Then she began reciting her incantations. But this time, too, they had no effect. A short while later, Heejoon's assistant arrived to help. Outside in the temple courtyard, a shaman ritual had already begun. To drive out the evil spirit, Sister Junia said to Sister Mikola, open the door so the sound of the chants from outside can reach inside. As the sounds of the shaman ritual echoed inside, the evil spirit began to writhe. Heejoon's body had now turned completely black, but the spirit was still unwilling to give up. It even began attacking the assistant outside, throwing objects at her in an attempt to distract her and leave the ritual incomplete. Heejoon's assistant remained undeterred and continued with his ritual. His courage and faith somewhat diminished the evil spirit's power. There was chaos all around. Then Sister Junia said to the demon, just tell me your name once. I promise to absorb you into my body. The demon listened to her and revealed its name. Now Junia had control over him. She said calmly, now get out of Heejoon's body and come inside me. As the demon left Heejoon's body, Sister Junia saw a divine vision. She and Heejoon were standing in the spirit world, where Heejoon was smiling at her and saying, thank you, sister. But then a terrible commotion broke out. Everything began to break, fire erupted. The demon was now entering Junia. Weakly, she told Sister Mikola, take Heejoon to church, and when you get there, ring the church bell 3 times so loudly that I can hear it. Mikola asked, crying, why aren't you coming with me? Junia smiles, puts her hand on her chest, and says, because now he's inside me. Hearing this, Mikola is devastated. She and Heejoon's assistant rush to the church with Heejoon. But on the way, countless demonic rats block their path. The entire road is blocked. They knew that if they delay, everything will be over. Mikola and Heejoon's assistant somehow manage to get Heejoon out. Heejoon is unable to walk, so the assistant says, you go alone, ring the bell. Mikola runs and finally reaches the church and rings the bell 3 times. As the bell rings, Heejoon's blackened body slowly returns to normal. This signals that the demon has now left him. Sister Junia, on the other hand, places the key to heaven on her body and seals the demon within her. She then walks into the same burning fire. By sacrificing her life, she has put an end to the evil spirit. She knew beforehand that her body would no longer survive the cancer, so she accepted her death, so that Heejoon could live. She hadn't told anyone this. After the demon's death, it is shown that Dr. Pavlo now believes in the overworld and ghosts. He finds the key to heaven in the burned building, which he hands over to the church management. And finally, Sister Mikla and Heejoon embark on a long journey. Their goal, to find and destroy the remaining demons and send them to hell forever, where a nun, by sacrificing her life, dispelled darkness and brought light back to the world. And thus ends the story of Sister Junia's sacrifice, Heejoon's redemption, and the triumph of good over evil. A nun who sacrificed her life to dispel darkness, so that light could return to the world. If you like this story, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll be the first to hear more such spooky and mysterious stories. Don't forget to click the bell